Ime Udoka's been pretty open about how much he wants to see sort of his two incumbent guys, starting with Jayson Tatum, elevate their playmaking. And I do think after moving on from Fournier, after moving Kemba Walker, even though you get Dennis Schroeder, they're still sort of built in a way where they're gonna need to lean on Jayson Tatum even more to to set up the offense to be their floor general for stretches. And I'm just wondering, based off what he's already made strides there. I think last season we saw him make some more complicated passes and reads. But based on what you've seen there, do you think he has another gear there? And would that be sort of the final frontier that separates him between he's a superstar now, but there's still that MVP click just in front of him?
Yeah, so I mean, the playmaking stuff is always hard because a lot of like it's not something that's guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like you can get better as a playmaker, but I could see him getting better as a playmaker and it not necessarily coming out and assist in that way as well. And what I mean by that is if you've watched Jason Tatum's passing development, I think it really started when he had his first hot streak, I believe 2 years ago in February, when he started becoming unguardable, off the catch, shoot 3-pointers and things like that. Because that was the first time defense started really adjusting to him as the number one. And what you saw was like he really learned stuff very quick. Like he learned how to make reads really quick. So when they first started double teaming him, and I almost remember distinctly the game where that happened against Utah specifically. He struggled a lot. He didn't necessarily know where the play was going. He picked up his dribble way too fast, and it just ended up looking crazy. But within a couple weeks, he was able to beat that. Then what happened is in the bubble, he started seeing zone, a lot of zone defenses. Toronto killed him with it, and so did Miami. With the zone defense, it made him think so much that he really didn't know what to do with the ball, and it kind of stifled his aggressiveness. But by the next season, last season I'm speaking of now, he seemed to be able to handle the zone defenses and stuff like that. So that leaves the last step, I think, for me is not just now the ability to like read and react, but the ability to now to anticipate and dictate defenders. So one thing that have the perfect person to look at is Luka Doncic, for example. When you watch Luka Doncic go and even simple cross court passes, the reason why he's able to get them so quick and hit people and they're so open all the time is because he's making the pass before the defender even is making the defensive adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're still in help while he's passing into the corner, for example. So that's that level of anticipation and knowing what's going to happen before the play and doing it. That's a really hard step to make. I don't know if he'll make that step, to be honest, because that's really hard. And there's not a big level of evidence of guys who aren't natural born passers making that leap. But just looking at some of the progressions he's made now, considering some of his history of being a guy that was a point guard in high school and stuff like that, is it possible? Yes. But could he make it to that degree? Like, is he ever going to be a 7-8 assist guy, average a game? I don't think so. But I also don't think he needs to, because I think he's a guy that can legitimately average 30 at the same time. So to answer your question, I do think he can make a leap, but I think his leap is not elite playmaker. I think his comfort zone is going to be like 5, 6 assists a game right there. And I think if that's the leap we're talking about, that's possible.